Hello again, everybody. Um, as I'd said previously, I was planning to put my Lasius flavus into one of these wet modules from Wakooshi. You get one large chamber and one smaller chamber that's made of gypsum, and then one dry chamber. And then this connects using the standard Wakooshi click and collect system where you slide a link on, and this would just click straight onto the four-way connector, which is already connected to the nest that they're currently in, making it really easy to connect them up for the new season. But Wakooshi has brought out a new season 3, so I bought one, and here it is. Now, the first thing to notice about season 3 is Wakooshi has made these basically completely escape proof. You can see that around the edges there are a lot more screws than there are on the season 2. As you can see, 4 screws on that one and far more screws on the new one. And this just stops the ants from pushing bits of debris under the edge in the middle there and creating a little hole and getting out. And the border as well, you'll notice here, is far thicker where the screws go in. So they're not right up against the edge anymore. This actually means that this nest is slightly larger than the wet module that I've got, although the living space is probably slightly smaller because of the increased border. But as I said, he's done this to suit all species. Now, I've never had a problem with my Lasius, but I know that things like Solenopsis can get out. And then here on the hole at the bottom, you can't see it really on this film, but he's put a mesh on where the water goes from the water reservoir into the gypsum, so that if they were to chew through the gypsum, they couldn't get out into the water. And then he's made it a tube connector rather than his previous click lock system, which quite frankly is a bit of a pain. I never had a problem connecting Wakooshi up to things that needed tube connectors, because you can buy these things, tube connectors, and they're very secure, very firm. You can stick a tube into them and then you could connect that up to something that needs a tube. The problem is that he's changed the diameter of his tube slightly so that the new diameter doesn't snugly fit into a Wakooshi tube connector, making it really difficult to connect new Wakooshi stuff to an old Wakooshi stuff. And what I'm going to have to do if I do use this nest is push one piece of Wakooshi pipe inside the other to get the size to change from one to the other. I mean, what Wakooshi needs to do is produce these tube connectors for the new size of pipe so that we can connect Generation 3 Wakooshi stuff to our old Generation 2 Wakooshi stuff. So I hope he does that soon. The other thing that I don't like about the new design, the season 3, is all of his old stuff had air holes in it. This is a 4-way connector. You're looking at the air hole in the top of the 4-way. And in a second, I'll show you the nest. There's a 4-way connector. In every Wakooshi nest has an air hole in it somewhere. Now, I understand why he's done it, especially on this small nest that I'm looking at, because it's all wet inside, so he doesn't want to lose the humidity. But I've looked at the bigger nests, I've looked at his new 4-way connectors that he's got, and none of them have got air holes in. Now, your ants aren't going to suffocate. Enough air will get in through the front tube, but it just cuts down the airflow in the nest and makes it more likely to have mold outbreaks and things. And I don't like the lack of airflow. What I do like, however, is this. The internal chambers are beautiful. I love the cut down entrances. I love the smaller chambers. And now I'm really in two minds. Should I stay with the season 2 or should I use the season 3?